Every day, chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Fahad.
Hello, how are you
Good, good,
doing?
man. How are you doing?
I'm good.
So, are we uh, missing someone? Probably Salah. Okay. Salah, Salah can't
Yeah,
join in.
okay. So, what do you have for us today, bro?
Oh, to be honest, not really looking great. So, I did take some shots in the morning on gold. So,
Okay, maybe share the screen.
yeah,
Share the
I'll do that.
screen.
Yeah. See the screen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, pretty much. It's a simple trade. So what I did was like, uh, so I trade based on something called as standard deviation levels, and this was the standard deviation. So you can see we did get like very good trades like over the week. So starting from Monday, it was a
Mm,
one side direction till our level. So this was one of my level,
mm,
which is the final target for the week.
mm,
And after that, I saw like a sell off. So what I did was like I got a rejection from this level, which is 4150 approximately. I took a shot on the flip of the
mm.
candle. My target initially was like this level, but I saw like there was some liquidity lying here, so I just left it till here. So it was a clean shot, like 1:8. And after that, like
Okay.
just market again took support and took liquidity over here, bounced back. So now the problem for market would be like it is, if it goes up, then it would face this resistance where is like big drop happened, and if it starts to come down, it will
Mm,
start to face this rejection where the buying happened. But this
okay.
really looks like a very nice liquidity. If you see this, so all of this looks like a very nice liquidity, and probably if we see a selling after this, if we see a continuation leg, because this was the first leg of the selling, and we did do a
Mm,
retrace. So according to
mm.
Fibonacci, if we have to like probably measure it, so that's around
Okay.
61%, approximately near to 61%. That's where we started to reject, right? And if we see a second leg towards the downside, then this all looks very clean liquidity. That's what I think. But more than
Mm,
gold, I think NAS is looking very good. So NAS was a clear sell from the morning. It was very clear,
mm.
and um, even in New York, probably after the New York opens, we should see a sell off, and not on the CFD chart, but there is a gap on the futures chart over here. So probably
Okay.
we might see a fill of that gap in Nasdaq. That's what I'm assuming after the market opens at 9:30. So that is what
Okay.
I'm currently looking at, and what are you looking at, Fat?
Yeah, for me, I always focus on two assets. I trade German
Hmm.
40. I trade German 40 and I also trade NASDAQ.
Okay.
So as of now, of course, I have already I took some trades early
Yeah.
morning. Trades about let me try to share
Yeah.
my screen.
Good.
So can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Yeah. So early morning, I took some trades on German 40. I took some trades on German 40, and this was actually I used a 15-minute time frame, but I'll try uh, to take you guys through how I took my trade and how I managed to take the sales. Those I know I can see in the comment section. Some of you guys who follow me in the in my public channel, I shared this trade with you guys. So I always focus on two assets as WCK. I focus on German 40 and Nasdaq. I started doing these two assets previously. That was like 2 years back, but I started trading some time back. So the reason why I decided to focus so much on German 40 and Nasdaq, I realized that these indices were strictly following my setup. Sorry, my strategy. They could respect my strategy. Even when I used my strategy on other pairs, the winning rate of these pairs used to be so good. So I remember previous year, I made some good returns when it comes to payout from multiple firms and also strictly within the FundingPips payout using these strictly two assets. So the way I traded these assets during the London session, I focus on the German 40 because of course I know German is always so much impacted when it comes to the New York session. Sorry, to the London session. London session always have has that impact on German 40. So personally, I decided to trade it in London session, German 40. Then the New York session, I go for Nasdaq. So sometimes even if I see entries of German 40 during the New York session, I always avoid them since I always want to keep my focus on I always want to keep my focus on German on Nasdaq. That's in the New York session. So let's do some analysis. I'm going to do some analysis for you on both two pairs, on both these two pairs. Then I will let my brother take us through maybe XAUSD and maybe other assets. So my strategy as WCK, my strategy has always been focused on three things. So I focus on volume, I focus on volume, I focus on the momentum, then I also focus on the impulsive and expansion moves. So I use the impulsive and expansion moves strictly for my entries, and I use the volume and the momentum to determine the direction of the trend. So I always prefer to get my entries in line of a trend. So as you see on my screen here, I focus on only two assets. Sorry, on two time frames. Here I focus on the 4-hour time frame and the 15-minute time frame. So 4-hour time frame helps me to locate or to know exactly where the market is heading and what the structure of the market really looks like. Then the 15-minute time frame helps me to play out with my edge, to play out with my edge or with my execution. That's on the 15-minute time frame. So it's strictly for execution. So I rarely go below this time frame. Yeah, so I rarely go below this time frame. So now uh, uh, my strategy, as I have mentioned, those three things. Some of you will be asking WCK, how do you use volume? So of course, volume, in simple terms, helps me to identify uh, to know how active that asset is. Is it tradable? So most of you would prefer using the volume indicator. Most of you, actually, I know most of you like using the volume indicator to determine whether the market will buy, whether the market is active or what. But for me, I'm someone who is so much focused. I'm someone who is so much focused on uh, pure candles or pure price action. So I don't usually involve myself with a lot of indicators. That's why you see my chart is always so clean, as you see here. So the way I determine my volume is strictly looking at the candles. the body of the candle speaks for itself, So when you look at the, like what we are seeing right now, it's a clear indication that volume is there. So there is a difference between such a market, there is a difference between such a market and such a market, So such a market without of consolidation or without of collection, it's an indication that this is what we are having here. It is pure low volume, So since we have low volume here, it means few people are trading this asset from this type of market. But when you look at this, yes, someone will be like, this fall was because of the Trump fall. Yes, that's true. But we are still having some healthy candles with big bodies, candles with sharp shadows, So there is a difference between these two types of markets. So as WCK, with my strategy, I always prefer to go with this, I prefer going with this market because look at the health of these candles. So this is a sign that the market will be moving either way, be it bullish or bearish, but the market will move eventually. But such a market, even if I say that maybe I go in my 15-minute time frame, I execute my sales or buys 100%, I will be kicked out, even if I'm right that the market will buy. So imagine if I bought from, let's say here, this candle was enough to take me out. So that's how I use volume. Then the momentum, of course, it is easy. It's to decide whether it's a bearish momentum or a bullish momentum. So when I look on my 4-hour on German 40, when I look on my 4-hour, of course, if you look here, it's a bearish momentum. The market has been bearish. But for me, always, I don't stop on I don't stop asking myself that whether the market will be bullish or bearish. I ask myself, where is the market coming from and where it's heading? So if you look on the 4-hour time frame on German 40, yeah, so we had this fall which happened here on German 40. We had this fall, so we had this fall here and it respected this point here. It respected this support level, and a reversal was made. But they left most of you what we call the fair value gap. But for me, in my strategy, I call this the expansion, So this expansion was left here. So eventually, we all knew that the market will come back to test this expansion. So when they test this expansion, of course, making a breakthrough here would not be easy, So meaning we know that the market was coming from this end, now testing this end. So we believe that the market might have changed the trend on the 4-hour time frame from this point here after covering this entire expansion here, So after covering this, we believe that the market might have changed the direction. So I always make this a solid line, so that I don't forget or mix it. So if it has changed the direction, then I ask myself another question. Where, if yes, the market has changed the direction, maybe, where do you think it's heading? So on its way up, I see we are having 46 minutes to close this 4-hour candle. Okay, so if this 4-hour candle closes bearish, of course, I'll be closing off this point here, So I'll be closing this shadow here because they made a breakthrough here. So closing below this, yes, it's something which might indicate more bearish being in position, but I'll be closing this entire point here. So meaning if they are to try to buy, then maybe they might be targeting this point. But I can use this point in many different ways. I can use it to determine bearish moves, or I can use it to determine bullish moves, because it's general knowledge. When the market closes above this point, if the market closes above this point, it's a clear indication that the trend has changed. So I always believe that as long as this market is still within this range on the 4-hour time frame, we might get more bearish sales. We are still in a bearish zone, So above this, closing above this, that means the market has went back within this entire range. So meaning more bulls will be in position. Now, that's on the 4-hour time frame. And remember, I don't use 4-hour time frame to determine whether I'm bearish or sorry, to execute my entries, that maybe I'm buying from here or selling from here. So I want to make my edge a little bit clear, So from because we have said the market is coming from this edge, going above this will confirm the bulls. So of course these guys tried to close this entire area, and this expansion was left unclosed. Okay, so we are seeing we have this entire expansion left unclosed, so meaning closing above this 4 hour time frame on German 40, we might continue to go back upwards, you know. So let's go to the 15-minute time frame, and we see how we can use our collection and expansion. So how do I use my collection? So it's general knowledge, guys. So many people will be asking, like, WCK, how do you use the uh, correction and expansion for your entry? So let me draw for you a simple let me draw for you here uh, a simple model. So I always the market will always move in these ways. We shall have a consolidation, and the expansion will always be there, you know. So the expansion, this can be opposite, because this is the same model. It can be bullish or bearish. Let's say the bearish one can be like this, you know. So the market will always give you the consolidations and expansions. So always ask yourself, what causes this consolidation? So many of you members always miss out on the most important point, whereby the market whenever you see the consolidation, whenever you see a consolidation, so it's the market is trying to speak to you, either something is happening or something is going to happen, you know. So whenever you see the consolidation, most of you have this mentality that whenever I see a consolidation, then I'm not going to trade. So sometimes not trading doesn't mean that you shouldn't be following up on the markets, because such environment, such consolidations always create the good trades. So for example, if you guys we know, look at this, we know that this was Trump's speech, you know, sorry, the tweet Trump made, that was on Friday. This was the tweet. But most of you will be like, you know what, we didn't know about it. Yes, you don't have that information. You can't reach to Donald Trump, but the market was communicating to you earlier, you know. Looking at this consolidation here, you know, looking at this consolidation here, it was a sign that something was happening, you know. So something was going to happen, you know. Imagine from such a good move, then back to the consolidation. So this was a good indication, and whoever positioned himself better in such a trade made money. So the same concept I use here. So when we have this consolidation here, so this is a clear explanation that even if I didn't check even if I didn't check, how can I say, even if I didn't check the economic calendar, even if I didn't check the news, I didn't see any news, I didn't see Trump's tweet, the market will send me automatic, will remind me, go and check. Whenever I'm seeing a consolidation, of course, I'm going to go to Forex Factory to check. Do we have any incoming speech? Do we have any data that is coming up? Because that's always the cause of this. What? Also, some of you always ask yourself, I always get people asking me, WCK, what session does this asset move? When does NAS move? It's clear, it's all in the markets. When the market is consolidating, you don't see any coming fundamentals. Checking Twitter, nothing is happening. Then it's a reminder to you that, yeah, maybe the session, and we are good that some prop firms and some brokers, the spreads will go big, you know. So that's a reminder. So of course, my strategy, I will focus on the I always focus on the what, on the range. I mark my range. After marking my range, then I wait for the impulsive candle. So the impulsive candle, it is that candle which is going to close above, you know. The impulsive candle, it's going to be that candle which is going to close above the range, the candle which is going to start the move, you know. So all I have to do is wait for the candle close above this. I don't care the size of the candle, even if it's a very big candle, whatever. All I need is the impulsive candle to remind me, you know, to remind me that uh, the market has made a breakthrough, you know, a new move is coming. So meaning I focus on the collection just for observing, not to trade it, but I trade the expansion, you know. So this is what we are having here. Okay, so this is what we are having here. Right now, the market we have seen on the 4-hour time frame that the market is when we try to adjust here. So let's say this was a consolidation, meaning the real move started from here. So this is what we have, and this is what we are looking at. So this was marked on the 4-hour time frame, okay? And now we have said that above this, they might confirm a strong move, a strong bull, okay? But also, we are having a retest which happened here. The market made a big move to go back and retest this, you see, this area here. So the market has retested back this point. So meaning the market has failed to make a breakthrough from this point. But failing to make a breakthrough pushes this market back to the range. What's the range? We saw a retest, a good move was given to us. You might underestimate such candles, this and this. But if we go into, let's say, I'm just giving an example. I don't usually trade 5 minutes. But if we go into 5 minutes, you see what is there, So that's why I stop on 15 minutes. So as you have seen, the 5 minute, it was a bullish move, And as on the 15 minute, we received our confirmation from this end. So meaning, all we are going to do is to mark this expansion. I think by now you guys are aware of the expansion. So this is the expansion we have here. Okay, so all I'm going to do is to mark this expansion where it started from, and this is its shadow. I mark from its shadow. Okay, I'll leave its line solid. Okay, now I'm also going to mark, because the market has tested this area as I have marked it with you guys. Okay, as I have marked it with you guys. So the market has tested this area, so meaning that's another legitimate area. So I might mark this. So meaning this is my pivot zone. Okay, so in my strategy, I'm not so attached to the trend direction. I'm never attached to the trend that I'm bullish or I'm bearish. No, I'm never attached to that. I just wait for the market to tell me whether it's bullish or bearish. And this is how the market will tell me. So giving me this range here, giving me this simple range. So let me make it clear for you guys. So giving me this range, so this is where I'm playing from, So as long as I'm within this, I'm not taking any trade. I'm taking trades either above this point. I'll be taking my trade above this point, because this point, sorry, if you look this point here,
How did you mark
okay,
the bottom one, Fahad? So the 24,054, was it just the candle low, or like would you not mark the low as
okay,
23,983?
the 2405,
Yeah,
this one.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is how I marked this. So this is the logic behind. Remember, we marked this resistance, this support level here. So we marked this point here on the 4-hour time frame, and the market reacted from this. So meaning this is a very strong level, But even if we knew that it was strong level, we wouldn't take a sell from here, So we wouldn't take a buy from that point, because that would be a trade without a confirmation. But giving me this equal candle, these bodies, this if you look at this body, this and this body are almost equal, So when you see equal bodies, it is always another consolidation formed in a very lower time frame. For example, if I have took you guys to the 15 minutes, let me first circle these equal bodies. So if you see these equal bodies here, so those bodies here are equal. So if I go to the 5 minute here, so this is what we have in 5 minutes. We have candles, if let me first make it clear for you guys in the 15 minute. So if you look on the in the 5 minute time frame, the candles also, we have the same small bodies, almost equivalent bodies. You see the candles are small, if you look at those small candles, it means either the sellers who were trying to push here, the way they were trying to push, the candles were also small. So meaning those candles lacked, or actually the market lacked enough volume. When you look here, because this was an indication that they are forming or they are preparing to face a strong resistance level. So giving us these small candles, it was an indication that the market has reversed. But to confirm the market reversals, if I was trading 5 minutes, I would have marked this point here, this point here, this is what I would have marked, that above that, the market would have changed the direction. And of course, when you look at the 5 minute, the market made a breakthrough, a strong breakthrough, went, retested this, then came back. I'm not surprised why the market didn't break this point here. It is because of the volume. When you look at the small candles, the bodies of the candles, these candles are too small, so they didn't have enough volume to make a breakthrough here. But because personally I trade 15 minutes, I don't want to be in this noise. All I do is go check these equal candles, because I know these equal candles, it is a consolidation lower. Okay, so since these equal candles are they are, how can I say, it is a consolidation in a lower time frame, I'm going to mark the impulsive candle. The model I made for you guys below, I indicated to you that the impulsive candle, it is that candle which makes a move out of the consolidation. I do this model to you. This is the consolidation. Now, the candle which makes a move out of this, the candle which makes the move out of this consolidation here, so this is the impulsive candle. So when I'm marking my entry level after that impulsive candle, I mark the shadow. I mark the shadow of the impulsive candle, and that's how I marked this shadow. Okay, are we together, bro?
Got it, bro. Got it. Understood.
Yeah, so that's how I marked this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how I marked this level, and that's how I also came up with this level. So meaning my setup is simple, and he's here, that I'm not going to be attached to buyers or sellers, because for me, I believe statements like the market will do this, it's a wrong statement. For me, I always do this. I always tell myself that if the market does this, then I'll do this, instead of saying that the market is going to do this, because I don't know what the market is going to do. All I know is if they do this, then I do this. So I just position myself. So what I have done here, it is positioning myself. And I tell myself, if the impulsive candle happens to go above this, then I'll buy. If they happen to go above this, below this, then I'll be selling, because all those areas are a bit what? I bit, moment. So here, if they happen to close below this, then I'll be selling. But this setup today is a bit tricky. How is it tricky? Remember, we marked this area at the 4-hour time frame, and we marked also this from the 4-hour time frame. So personally, I'm someone who wants to hold trades, at least for hours, But if I have such strong resistance level and strong support level, in my view, I always take this as my overall TP. I usually use TP1, TP2, and TP3. But if I'm trapped, because this is a trap, if I'm trapped within this range here, then I'll be focusing to take my entire profits from this point. Remember, yes, we know that there is a possibility of the market closing above this and it continues its long-term buys.
How would you
That's
enter,
what we saw.
Fahad? So if we get a short right now, would you enter on a candle close,
Mm.
or do you have like an entry pattern where you would decide how to enter?
So I always go with a candle break, sorry, a candle
Okay.
close. So these assets, German 40, Nasdaq, US 30, these assets are so volatile, you know. So these assets are so volatile. So when the market, if you don't let the market to close if you don't let the candle to close, you are going to see such wings, you're going to see such strong shadows. So, and that will be a fake breakout. So for me, always to avoid fake moves, I always wait for the market to close, I always wait for the market to close. the candle to close, that candle to close. As soon as that candle closes, then I take my sales. If the candle closes above, then I take my buy. So my bro, I always focus on the candle close. You know, I don't focus on patterns because sometimes you can wait for patterns as you see such moves when it comes to these indices. So by the time you wait for the pattern, the candle has already hit your TP1. Okay.
Yeah, happens most.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the concept I use on these assets, both NAS and German 40. So in normal days, I would have been maybe looking for longs, going above this, but I can't risk the profits I have made from such moves to fight this strong resistance this strong resistance level. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys. That's my concept. Maybe I would like maybe also my book take us through his concept.
Sure, bro. I can do that. Mm,
Okay,
so let me.
you can share the
Yeah.
screen.
Can you see my screen, bro?
Yes, bro, I can.
Okay. Pretty much not very complicated. Whatever I trade on a logic
Mm,
called standard deviation. I think I've explained this many times in the previous live. And
mm,
as per the standard deviation, what happens is from the weekly move, for example, if this is the weekly closing, right? From the weekly move, the
mm,
price can anywhere go between this range or this range. This is the range, right?
mm,
And as per the probability and statistics, price has a 68% probability of staying within this range, right? And this is as per the statistics and probability, right? And this level keeps
mm,
changing based on lot of factors like economic data, options data, options volatility, and there is something called as IV or VIX, right? So based on that, these levels keep changing. So this was the level for the weekly target, right? So for example, if we see market opened for that week and just straight up went to that level, right? And that is where exactly the rejection
mm,
started from. So uh,
mm,
most of the time, how I trade mostly before the levels hit on my funded accounts because those are the most high probability trades. So anywhere I get
mm,
in, for example, I get in over here or like somewhere over here, somewhere here. I know that this is my target, right? And once the target is hit,
mm,
I mostly take it slow and I don't over trade or like do a lot of trades. I mostly try to scalp, right? Uh, so that is
mm,
what I do. And how do I basically decide whether I have to go towards this line or towards this line? That's the question which many will
mm,
ask, right? So what do I do is like basically I go to the 4 hour time frame, and in the 4 hour time frame I see where is the breakout on a 4 hour time frame. So the most recent breakout happened here, right? This is the higher high
mm,
where the breakout has happened. So until I get a lower
mm,
low, for example, this it is making a lower low right now, right? Until I get a lower low, I
mm,
am bullish on gold, right? If you because you already like you already trade DAX, right? DAX and gold are
mm,
mostly trending instruments, right? Once they catch a trend, most of the time they keep trending like this, right? Without even a pullback. So
mm,
without even a pullback, you get like very good moves, right? So my strategy is very simple. If there is a 4 hour breakout, I just wait for the levels to form. For example, if this is my level, I just trade from that level to the next level.
mm,
As simple as that, right?
mm.
So that's
Okay.
how the trades have been formulating. And mostly my trades or the levels get hit within like 2 to 3 days in a trending market. If it is like a sideways or a ranging market, it mostly stays within this range itself. It won't even break out. So that's how I trade. It's a very simple 4 hour retracement and an entry after a retracement. So it's like buying low or selling high. So this is a sell high concept where today's trade was taken along with the level as the confluence.
Mm,
That is about it. Even if you see Nasdaq, so Nasdaq was in a bearish trend. So you see this bearish drop on October 10th, where the mini crash happened due to the China and Trump tweet. After that, market did a retracement, and today it started to sell off. And we can very clearly see this is the exact level where it took support from. This is the level I've marked even before market opened, right? This was like
mm,
almost before market opened, and did take a support, jumped from there, took resistance from some levels, right? Resistance, and did a breakout yesterday. Did consolidation. It was not able to sustain. Asia did the fake out,
mm,
started to sell off from there, right? So even today's trade, I was like shorting Nasdaq at the break of this level, like whenever London opened at the break of this level, at the break of this level. So I was shorting towards this line. So mostly we should be able to get this
mm,
line by today or most probably by tomorrow. That is the plan. Uh, the upper
mm,
level never reached, right? So this is the upper level, and this is the lower level, which is like the long term weekly target. Probably by this week, if we see the selling to continue, we might head towards this 24,000 levels, but that's a very big target. Most
mm,
probably the market will stay in this range. It won't even like break out for this week. That's what my assumption is. But
mm.
yeah, that is a very simple strategy, very straightforward, not so complicated.
Yeah, it's very simple,
Yeah.
bro. So are we taking any trade today from you, Nasdaq?
Nasdaq, I might trade futures after the market open, not right now, but I see
Okay.
very good selling opportunities in Nasdaq. If I get anything on the selling side, I might take it. Um, so let's see how it goes. Currently, market, I don't trade before market opening right now, so it's still 1 hour, and I think we also have Powell's speech in some time, right? So
Mm,
I think it is at 5:20, or it's in the evening, so it's not so high impact for the opening. But any sells right now looks good for Nasdaq, to be honest, right? So that's about it. So
okay.
we'll see if we get some trades on the Nasdaq. Gold, as I said, it is looking good for shorting today. But the only problem is it is stuck in this London range, which I don't like. I would want it to like come
Mm,
out of the range and then do the trend. That is when I'll be happy to sell more. But currently it is at one of my levels. You can very clearly see it is taking the support, but the overall trend for me is bearish. So I would expect a breakout and then like a retest of this level for me to even short. But I don't see a very good short. Even if I have to, I can short it for this level. So it is a
mm,
very small scalp until the risk reward looks good. I might not do this, but
mm.
yeah, that is about it. So it's a very simple, straightforward
Okay.
system.
So we should wait for the market to open.
Yeah, we should. Probably we can take some questions if there are any questions.
Some questions. I don't know. Can you see questions that end?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can,
I
I
can see.
can see. I'll
Okay.
probably go through them.
Okay. So guys, members, you can send in some questions.
Hey Sai, can you explain how do you mark key levels on the chart? Okay, so I use a concept called standard deviation, but for someone who don't use the standard deviation concepts, they can take it very simple. Look at a level where price can react from. For example, you think, okay, this is a level where price can react from, then simply mark that level as a key level, right? If you think that price is not going to basically react from that level, then there's no point for you to mark that level. As simple as that. Just keep it simple, very stupid. Although you might think that okay, this is very simple. The simple things only work in the market.
Okay. But actually, also, me what like I have seen people commenting here. Maybe many of you want to understand. Many of the people want to understand the concept of standard deviation.
Okay, standard deviation again, it is bit complex for us to go through over here, but I can very clearly show you a example of like how standard deviation works. So I would have to share a different screen. Just one
Okay.
minute.
Okay.
Can you see the chart? Not the chart,
No. No.
the website.
Yeah, we can. Now
So
we can.
it's called as tastylive.com. So people can go into this website and see what is it. So standard deviation can be written
Mm,
for any stock. It's a mathematical calculation based on the volatility of an instrument, right? So based on the volatility of instrument,
okay.
you multiply this and you would consider days to expiry, which is basically a concept related to options. It's a bit complex, but if you basically do that and you calculate how many days for it to expire, you would get the expected move. The
Mm,
expected move is basically one standard deviation. So you can see from the midpoint, as I showed, market can go anywhere from
mhm,
minus one standard deviation to plus one standard deviation, right? So it
mm,
has like a 68% probability. The probability it shows is like 34 plus 34, that is around 68%. So markets always try to stay within that one standard deviation unless it is like super trending, where it can go up to two standard deviation. But anything above two standard deviation, it is very, very rare that market would sustain above two standard deviation, right? So you can very clearly see it has 68% outcome, and two standard deviation markets always stay within two standard deviation, 95% probability. Three standard deviation is pretty rare unless there is a crash, corona, etc., etc. That is like 99.7% of the time markets never breach three standard deviation. So this is how a high level interpretation of standard deviation works. It is all mathematic driven. It is all based on a concept. And if I have to show you like an example of how it would change based on the volatility, I'll basically very quickly show you an example. Um,
okay.
Let me reshare again. So I can even do this for DAX. So for example, it's not as perfect as because I would need like the DAX data and all, but to just give a high level overview about the standard deviation. So for example, this is the calculator which you can see. So you can input the standard deviation, the stock price. For example, let's say where is gold right now? So where gold is at like $4,000, right? So you input the stock price. So implied volatility can be very simply picked up from the volatility index, which is nothing but the VIX. So
You can share the screen. We don't see the screen.
you don't see the calculator.
No, we don't.
Okay, let me redo it. Can you see it?
Not yet.
I'm still sharing. I'm not sure why it is not showing.
First, try to share the chat and we see.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, it is now here.
okay, yeah. So this is like the probability
Yeah.
calculator. You can see you can input any stock. It doesn't have to be like gold, or it doesn't have to be like You can even input like any stock. So let's say, like for example, for gold, right? So we consider it as like 4,000. So the current volatility can be picked. IV, calculating IV is the most important aspect. Like how can you calculate IV is the most important aspect. It's like a bit complex scenario. But for the use case right now, for us to test, we can simply pick up the VIX value and put it over here. So currently VIX is around 22, right? So we can just put like
mm,
0.22, and time to expiry is like how fast or how slow you can basically want to calculate. So if you want to calculate the levels for like 1 week,
mm,
you can just put it as like 0.1, and it will basically put it for like 1 week. And if let's
mm,
say you have to calculate it for like 3 months, right? So you'll just put it as 0.3. It will be for 3 months, somewhere around that. So it can calculate based on that, right? So if I do this, right, so
mm,
it will give me a value saying that okay, one standard deviation is anywhere between 3731 to 4288. This is one standard deviation, and you can very clearly see this is the range which we have actually seen in the website as well, right? So price can anywhere stay between
mm,
this range. And you might ask, what happens when Corona crash happened, right? What right, that is the obvious
mm,
question. So when the Corona crash happened, the VIX shot up to somewhere close to 80, right? So 70 to 80. So the if we change the volatility, right? So previously, how much was it? So you
mhm,
can see it was around 73730, right? That's the lowest level,
mm,
and 4288 was the highest level. So let's say the volatility increased, automatically my levels will increase. So you can now see it is at 3100 instead of 3300, right? And
mhm,
the higher range
mm.
became 5100 just because the volatility increased, right? So I don't have to like
Okay.
look at a lot of factors. All I have to do is like just look at what are my levels doing, and based on that I can very well take out what kind of standard deviation happens, and I just play towards the standard deviation on most of the times.
Yeah. So that's where the concept comes from. Eh?
Yeah, it is a general concept called standard deviation. Standard deviation can be applied to any kind of thing, and it's very simple, right? um,
Someone is asking how to trade gold at all-time high. He's asking you.
See, basically, again, yeah, the beauty of my strategy is I do have always a level at the top when I'm trading. So you can see even today I still had a
Mm,
level at the top, like 4198 was one of my level. So that is something
mm,
which makes my strategy like universal. Even when it is like all time highs, all time
mm,
lows, I can still trade it. I'll still have like some level to base on. But for someone who is basically not having something like what I'm currently doing, all you can do is wait for a
mm,
pullback, check where the support is, and all you have to do is like enter on like a tight stop loss and let it ride the trend. Don't think that, oh, this is the high,
mm,
this is the high, this is the high. Or for someone who is scalping, I also told in my Instagram about this, you can use something like a round number indicator. So every 10 points is basically like a resistance. So you can scalp from 4160 to 4170, 4180, 4190, 4200. So you can scalp for every 10 points. So even if you see today's fall exactly happened from a round number, that is 4180. So you, even if you took a buy
mm,
somewhere here, you could have got your target and then the drop happened, right? So it is very simple to trade gold at all time
mm.
highs. Don't think that it is very complicated.
Okay. So you only trade gold and
I
nuts.
trade gold, I trade Nasdaq. I do have a system for DAX as well. I trade it on the 30 minutes time frame at the London Open. It's like an opening range breakout. And I mostly trade these instruments at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So guys, send in more questions. Send in more questions.
Is 1:1 with 65% win rate and 20 trades a month good or not? Also for prop firms, is it good or not? It's very good actually. Anything more than 51%, you are profitable in 1:1. So even if you are getting 20 trades a month, all you have to do is like filter out those 20 trades and see how is it working for you, right? As simple as that. So don't overcomplicate things. 65% is a very good win rate, and you can very well do this in prop firms, right? I'm from Hyderabad. Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you from, Fahad?
Yeah, I'm from East Africa,
Oh
Uganda.
wow.
Eh, I'm from Uganda. For you are from where?
I'm basically from India, Hyderabad, but I live in the UK. So
Mm. WCK, how do you determine consolidation in a higher time frame? So of course, I use as I told you guys, I always focus on the volume, you know. So when volume is low on a higher time frame, it's actually very visible because you can see 4 hour candles when they are leaving big shadows or big wings, you know. So now they have made a breakthrough. Should we expect some sales on gold?
the only problem is it did not retrace within this entire leg. So the problem is if I enter right now, um, I'm very much highly likely to get chopped out in one single retracement. So I I want
Mm,
a small retracement and then like a dump. That would make it much more easier for me. Yeah, see, it already started to happen, right? So
mm.
the only reason is because it's a straight dump, right? So if it would have come somewhat like this, like slow steady, after the break and this retest, I would have probably gone short. But the only problem is like there's no retracement in this entire leg.
Okay. So you always use 5 minutes for entry.
Sometimes I enter on like a 2 minutes or a 1 minute, but that's very rare. Unless the market is like very fast with momentum, um, I don't enter on like 2 minutes. But most of the time it is on like a 5 minutes time frame, 5 or 15 minutes time frame.
Someone has talked about features. You trade features,
Yeah, I do.
but is it okay if you take us through how you guys trade features? Because for me, I trade
Hmm?
NAS, I trade US 30 and German
Yeah,
40. Those are some of the best things which move in the features
yeah,
market, you know, like NAS.
yeah.
But I have failed to trade features. I tried trade vote. It looks like a very complicated system for me. So is it okay if you take us through how we open trades, how we put on stop losses, how we execute? Because I wanted to start trading on funding ticks, but I don't even know how you guys calculate those contracts. How do
Um,
you do it?
to be honest, I trade on Ninja Trader, so it'll look way more complicated for you to uh, see and basically look at it. I can show it to you, but it'll look very complicated.
Mm,
Let me.
mm. Show us a bit because that's something also I want to try, man. I see people making money from features. I don't know. Yeah, for example, even the way the features prop,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, the way the features prop look. So it's a bit complicated. They have the activation fees. Then I don't know what happens to the first fees.
So it is pretty simple. So this is like the Nasdaq chart, and
Mm,
you can see the screen, right?
yeah, yeah.
So everything is like a buy limit, buy stop, or like sell limit or sell stop. So if I right click, you'll basically see sell limit right at the top. If I right click at the bottom, so you'll see like buy limit. And
Mm,
if I want to buy at the high of this candle, that is like a buy stop. And if I want to like sell at the bottom of this candle, so that's like a sell stop. As simple as that.
mm-hmm,
And you can also do like a buy market, sell market, or etc. etc. And
mm-hmm,
there are something called as brackets. In multiple platforms, it's called as different ways. So brackets
mm,
are nothing but like a set of stop loss and a TP order. So you
mm,
can set like, okay, I want like 20 points stop loss with like 30 points TP, or like 20 points stop loss, 40 points TP. So you can set that, and it will basically connection lost. Set it according to that. Okay, it just disconnected. Just give me 1 second.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. I had to disconnect because it was like going on.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, so it is mostly um, it's easier on trader weight if we have to do it, but
Mm,
on on Ninja Trader and everything, it will look a bit complex. Although it's not very complicated, but it'll look a bit complex. That's the only thing. Yeah.
because people always make money from features, but even the way those features prop farms, the way they do their challenges, then they have activation fees, then they have the normal fees, and their fees somehow look
Yeah.
cheap.
The biggest advantage is like you can basically copy trade a lot of accounts, right? That's the biggest advantage of like trading futures, right?
Okay.
And the only thing is like because you don't have a lot of spread and slippage issues, it is much easier for you to like trade across multiple accounts and get the same PNL, right?
Mm.
That's the beauty of like trading futures, right?
Okay. Are you connected again? You share the screen.
Yeah. I'm just reconnecting things.
Okay. But also, I hear they have limits on even if you make how much money. For example, you have to withdraw only 5K. How? Why is it like that? In features, are they giving them real money? How is it?
The advantage is like you can trade a lot of accounts. So I don't think so it is a problem for you to like withdraw 5K, right? If you can
Mm.
trade like so many accounts. So for example, uh, I generally don't show this, but can you see it?
Screen not yet here. Yeah, it's here. It's here.
So these are all my connected accounts, right? So you can see a
Okay.
lot of accounts, right? I did not connect all of them, right? But these are some of my connected accounts. So if I punch a trade in one of them, all of them gets copied across. So for example, let's say I trade the MNQ, and what are we doing on Nasdaq? Mm, do we see anything? What time it is? 2 o'clock. Okay. Let's say I go to the 1 minute, and let's say I want to short this, right? So I
Mm.
can basically short something like over here. Or order filled. So you can see this is like one account just running, right?
Mm. Mm.
And for example, I want to like place a stop loss. I'll basically place like a buy stop order market. Submitted. So this is like a stop
Mm.
loss, right? As
Yeah.
simple as
So
that.
for them, instead of saying a stop loss, you just put a buy stop.
Yeah, so you just put a buy stop. So over here, you just put like a buy limit or something, and
Wow, it's so
you can
interesting.
order submitted. So you can very clearly see this is how it works. So you can see the PNL running and everything. The only thing is if I set it on a copier, all of those
Mm.
accounts will basically get traded, right?
Like how many accounts are those?
Currently, there are around 27 accounts connected. So all I need
Ah.
is like 100 to $200 in one day, to make
Ah,
close to $5,000 in one day. I don't need so much
is
PNL to trade.
bro. So
So
that's how we
the
people in
only, the
features are
only thing
getting.
is like it is very good to scalp. So for example, if I close
Order
this
filled.
and do a
Order
buy,
filled.
right? So I can even do a buy, right? So keep it like a sell stop market.
Order submitted.
Clearly see market going up, right? So I want to add like five more contracts or something like that, I can do that, right? So I set the stop loss back, so you can average, you can even go into like 30 seconds, trade the 30 seconds and everything, right? So for
Hey,
example, let's say I want to like do another buy
Order submitted.
five more contracts, so
Order filled.
I am now in 10 contracts, right? So like this is very simple, so I can even punch five
hmm.
more contracts over here.
Order submitted.
So
Order
so
filled.
now I'm in 15 contracts, right?
So for you don't sell lots, you don't calculate lots.
No, there's no lot. So each point is basically 20 points, right? So you can very clearly see I'm currently in 140, $150 profit in this, right?
Mm,
Uh, in a
mm,
buy. So I can simply keep trailing this, or I can even exit like partial over here. So for example, I want to exit like five contracts somewhere here, right? 600, 620. So I'm basically trailing as market keeps going up. So I'll
mm.
basically get exited somewhere here. Did I get exited? Not yet.
Not yet,
Okay, let's see how far we go. Mm.
bro. So I think it is easy to trade futures.
Yeah, it is very easy, and you can also average your trades. You can do multiple, like even like a martingale. Like let's say you're in loss, you want to martingale, so you can also do that. A lot of things can be done, right? Because futures firms are like much easier. This is actually my funding ticks account, and
Mm.
this is the account which I'm on the leaderboard. I think the current PNL is around 90,000, 82,000. Yeah. So this is the account which you'll see on the dashboard on my name. That's the account which you currently see. So you can very clearly see market is pumping. So I just keep trailing. So
So what you mean that if you decided to copy all those accounts would be in profits right now?
yeah, all of them will be in profits. I trade after 9:30. I just want, because you asked, I wanted to show you like how it
Mm,
works.
mm, mm.
So
Thanks for that.
I first took a shot. I didn't like the shot because the market was pumping. I just reversed my position, took a long now. So you can simply scalp, right? So you can simply scalp and then get a lot of profits out of this, right? uh,
Okay.
and it is very easy. So you see this small move, what is this, like hardly 625 to 640, like 20 points. For 20 points you are getting like $600, right? Imagine doing
Mm.
it on like 40 accounts, 30 accounts, 50 accounts, right? So that is like crazy
So
amount of
that
money which you
that
can get.
means someone, for example, on those 27 accounts, someone can lock like 100K, and
Yeah, easily. People are making 100K in a month using futures. Some of them are making, some big people are already making that. So
Order
see,
filled.
this is where I got exited five contracts. Now I can basically keep the rest 10 like at
Order
market,
submitted.
or else I can
Order submitted.
basically exit it everything at one
Order
go
canceled.
over here, right?
yeah.
It's all.
So like I saw, actually now it makes sense because I remember seeing, was it Jed? Do you know that trader Jed is always
Order
on these
filled.
lives?
Which one?
It's called Jed. Is yeah, Jed like that.
Yeah, yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
I remember seeing him having like 900K
Yeah, it
in
is possible.
features.
That's what I'm saying, right? It is possible. All you have to do is like multiply across multiple accounts, and you don't need a very big PNL. That's what I say. All you need is like small trades like this, multiplied across so many accounts that everything is like copied, right? That's the only thing which is required. You don't need like
So Meaning
When
in the features farm, there is no limitation on copying from different accounts.
no limitation. So you
Wow.
can copy like any number of accounts, any account size and anything. So that's the advantage of like copying across. So that's the beauty of it.
Ah, I'll need more lessons. I'll be looking for you
Yeah.
because I want to close. I want to close to features because I have been trading
So
NAS
if
on
you're if you're if
CFDs
you're trading NAS, it's much easier for you to trade futures. So you can basically look at uh,
because I see they also have S&P 500.
yeah, ES is also there. ES is also very popular, so you can also trade ES. Uh, but ES 1 point you get easily like $50-$100, right? So even gold also, if
So
you trade
I
gold,
think the session is almost here. Yeah, so you see how this market has reacted from this zone.
nice.
You can see.
Yeah, yeah, I can.
Yeah, so that's why I say that I always focus on the candle close. So if I wasn't focusing on candle closes, then I would have been kicked out by this fake, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nasdaq, we are almost there. So what's your view on Nas? Uh, Share the screen. You take us through Nas because it's like
Uh,
30 minutes, 25
yeah, still
minutes.
we still have like 30 minutes more. So for now, I still think NAS is gonna drop, but let's see what happens after market open. But mm,
Okay. So let me a moment. Let me check here. It's called the funding ticks. Funding ticks. Funding ticks.
one message to traders who are
So
just
meaning with funding.
I was just taking questions. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
One message to traders who are losing hope, bro. I'll say you, I was in your position, and you have to get used to basically looking those big numbers, red numbers. You have to, uh, even though you're questioning yourself, don't think about what market does. Don't care about your feelings. Ma- your feelings always take over, and you will basically do something stupid, which will basically make you regret after some time that I lost this account or I lost this PNL. And there are every trader you see, they would have cried, they would have lost something, they would have lost their accounts, they would have lost hope. They are also in the same position. So don't stop. Just take a break if you are losing hope. Clear your head, come back stronger than ever before. That's the only advice I can give. So you are saying something about funding ticks?
Yeah, I haven't even because I wanted some time back,
Yeah.
just that I have checked. I wanted to create an account with them some time back,
Mhm.
but because there are things I used to see on their website,
Use my code.
like
Use my code UOT. You'll get like 30 or 35% off.
of course I'm going to come to your inbox because I want
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
to take me through the entire process because I see since I'm trading Nasdaq, it's not going to be so difficult to me. I trade S&P
Yeah, you,
500,
we just saw.
you know.
I just scalped like hardly 2 minutes. I made $500. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult.
Of course. Let me try to.
I notice a difference between TradingView and TraderWeight chart. TraderWeight is
Moment.
showing higher data. Are you facing the fires? If you are basically seeing data differences
Oops.
between, sorry, I was answering a question. Fahad.
No, it's
Uh,
okay.
Fires, if you are seeing data differences between TraderWeight and TradingView, it is because futures require something called as additional data. It is from COMEX or from CME. So they provide additional data, and you would have to pay close to $7 or like $10 to get additional data. If you don't have the data, the trading view chart will be delayed. So it will be delayed for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So the trader weight one which you're seeing is the actual chart, and trading view will always be delayed unless you pay for the extra subscription.
Hey man, I think people who are trading features are now so far away from us. I've been trading those CFD farms for so long, and I've been seeing the features farms
Mm.
even when they launched funding ticks, but I couldn't understand anything.
Yeah, it is mostly the same model.
I
See, most of the firms will either have an activation fee or they won't have an activation fee. So if they don't have an activation fee, mostly the firm will have like cheaper price for you to take. But one thing I like about funding ticks is it's actually cheaper, and they don't have activation fee. That is good about funding ticks. So if someone
no,
is planning to go for like is a beginner, and if they're planning to go for like futures, I would say funding ticks pro plus account, which has like the
hmm,
$1,000 cap, $1,000 payout cap. That is the best account they can actually go for. I think they get it for like $50 or $60. That is the best account they can actually go for. Right, nothing else beats that in the market. uh,
now for example,
mhm.
if you look on their
Yeah,
website, you can hear me well.
yeah.
If you look on their website, they have what we call maximum EOD trading loss. What is EOD?
So end of day
You
trailing
know,
is nothing but it trails after you close the PNL for the end of the day. So if your drawdown is like $2,000, and let's say you make, so for example, I made $500 today, right? So my drawdown reduces to $500 for tomorrow, right? So I'll only have $1,500 to lose by tomorrow until so this keeps trailing until the drawdown buffer. So the drawdown buffer is basically, let's say, $2,500 for a 50K account. So your drawdown trails until you make $2,500. After that it becomes zero and it becomes static like a CFD firm.
hmm so bro, you see those things are so technical.
Yeah,
Now
the
imagine
only
end
thing is
of
like
day
the
drawdown.
drawdown
So
bit different. So drawdown, some of them are like intraday trailing, where they trail for every dollar profit I make, right? And some of them are like end of day drawdown, which are like much easier.
okay. So also they are showing you can have up to 300K.
In funding ticks, yes, you can have up to 300K, and either you can take like 100K 3 accounts, or 50K 6 accounts, or 25K 12 accounts you can take.
Okay.
So the good part about funding ticks is, although the the accounts basically are like less, like the drawdown is less on a 25K, but let's assume you basically take 12 accounts of 25K, which means the maximum payout on a pro plus account for each account size is $5,000. So on a 25K, if you take 12 accounts and if you are able to reach that buffer zone plus $5,000, you can withdraw up to $60,000 on funding ticks in one cycle. In one cycle. That is huge. That is like huge.
Okay. Someone is asking what is the minimum trading days.
Mostly they'll have a consistency rule. So you would have to do consistency rule in the challenge. And for a Pro Plus account, you will have 40% consistency, which means you can pass the challenge in 3 days. And once you get funded,
Mhm.
there is no major consistency rule. All you have to do is like 5 winning days of like 100, $150 or $200. That's it.
So 15 minutes for the session to open.
Okay.
Guys, send in the questions, send in the questions.
Yeah, we'll take some questions. Let's go.
Isn't it hard to understand features than CFDs? So what do you think?
I don't think so. It is pretty much easy to understand futures if you already know CFD. All you need to know is like what contracts you are trading, what is the contract specification for it, like how much does it move for 1 point, and as per your strategy, can you basically scalp or can you basically take big trades, and just try to adjust it as per the strategy, and you should be good to go. It's not so tough. I'm anyways doing like a full YouTube series on my YouTube if someone wants to like learn and understand about basics.
You have a video for basics on your YouTube?
Yeah, for futures, I just started. It'll be like like a series of videos coming forward. Just the first video is already up.
Okay. Someone is asking, do you also trade GC?
Yeah,
What is
GC
GC?
is gold. GC is gold. NQ is Nasdaq.
So in features, you call it gold?
No, we call it GC. GC is basically gold. I do trade gold
Okay.
as well. Yeah, GC. I mean, yeah, and uh,
Okay. Send in the questions, members. Anything about CFDs and features?
funding picks, which one is the best? Pro Plus account or 50K accounts are good. With a $1,000 payout cap if you are a beginner. If you are not a beginner, then a $5,000 payout cap accounts are good. Code UOT will give you the best discount. Uh, Pro
Help me.
basically the difference between mini and micro is 10 times. So mini is like x, then micro is 10 times less than x. So if mini in 1 point, for example, for gold, 4112 to 4113 is $100 in mini, whereas in micro it is $10. That's the only difference. So it changes for like Nasdaq. Nasdaq is 20 points and $2. So $20 and $2.
Someone has said help newbies on difference between mini and micro. Is that what you have been
Yeah, I
answering?
was answering the same thing.
Yeah. What mindset do you believe separates funded traders who succeed long term from who fail after payout? Yeah, that's your question.
You're answering?
No, you answer. You answer. What mindset do you believe separates funded traders who succeed long term from those who fail after payout?
Basically, the thing is like people think consistency is boring. I have been consistent with funding pips. I got close to 55 payouts till now. And people think consistency is not good because they see all of these Instagram people or like social media people on the internet.
Trading every day.
Yeah, they're trading every day. Second, they show that big payouts, right? So you see $20,000, $30,000 payout. They think, this guy is only making $2,000, $3,000, but that guy made 20, $30,000, right? So they don't see the power of consistency. But over a period of time, let's say within like 1 month or like 2 months, I will get more than whatever he got in one payout because I'm so consistent, right? So what separates between the long term and the ones who are like trying to gamble in the system, it's just about following their system principles and trying to be consistent to their strategies, right? That will basically help, right? So think about that you are trading your own money, and try to act that, okay, if I am risking X amount, will I get X percentage back or not? That's the only thing you have to think about.
By the way, I remember. Are you the one on the leaderboard who has that longest account?
No, that is my friend. He is a different person. I have the highest
But
number of payouts, but that's not on the leaderboard. Not from single
mm,
account, but multiple accounts. I have the highest number of payouts. My referral
okay.
code is UOT.
Someone's asking, a CFD and feature chart same,
Uh,
far from
the
XAUO.
charts are same, but the only thing is like price action wise, the points are much more higher. It's like you punching 10 lots in XAU is almost like one mini, right? So it's like that. It's like a mini heart attack.
Okay.
Do you have a YouTube channel? Yeah, you can search Your Ordinary Trader. It's already shown on my uh, photo, right? So it's below that, Your Ordinary Trader. You just search on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you'll find it everywhere. What's a decent payout on someone? Nothing is decent. Every payout is good. I always say that, even if it is like $15, $10.
As long as you are paid.
Yeah, as long as you're paid. Second, uh, nothing is decent. I'll tell you why. Because it it proves that you can make money out of this markets. It proves that funded accounts are not a scam. It proves that funded accounts can give you money and make you money. So even if it is $10, $15, try to take that payout so that you feel the real sense of money in your account. I live in Manchester.
So you were Manchester United fan, Manchester City.
uh yeah, sometimes I do watch them. Gold is looking good for shorts.
Share the screen for gold. You can share your screen.
uh, just give me 1 second.
You're sharing the screen.
Yeah. Can
Okay.
you see it?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, pretty much it's the same thing. Although we did not short on this rejection, which did play out as per the rule. You can see the rejection and then a candle flip again. The only thing is, I would want it to like close below this. That would make the shots much more nicer. So with a very small stop loss, somewhere around 4113, this shot is very good looking. Yeah. I think it will go down. Yeah. So the easiest target would be somewhere here. which is the entire liquidity. It should still break down and then go as per the logic which we have seen. Because if you see the daily candle basically flipped completely, right? You see this long wick rejection. So this is like a long wick rejection. So buyers basically tried to push the price higher, 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 and this is where the rejection started from. And sellers took over control. So actually, the sellers took over control over here. But even if you see New York started to basically go towards the downside. So the market open should ideally breach this level and come down. That's what my expectation is.
So 5 minutes, we are having the session will be opening in 4 minutes. So the way you trade NAS, you wait for the session to open and see how it reacts, then you execute.
So I try mostly to scalp. So it is pretty much very quick scalping, which I try to do. And because in futures you can very quick do that scalps very easily, right? That's
Someone is asking a question: how true is this that if you trade only gold, it is impossible to be consistent and profitable? What do you think about that?
I don't think so. The instrument doesn't define whether you're consistent and profitable or not. Your strategy, if it is good, you can be consistent. I only trade gold in the CFD firms, and I have been super profitable in FundingPips. I got close to like $140,000 till now. So if you say that, okay, that's
Yeah.
good money, then I don't think so. What is good for you? Mm,
Someone is asking the broker use. So you can check my my TikTok. Sorry, my yes, in my TikTok bio, the links are there. You can also check the links in my Twitter X handle. Yes, go in my X handle. The link is there. You can check whatever you want. Powell speech.
uh,
Yes, when is the Powell speech
I
actually?
think it's in the evening, 5:30 UK, so it's almost after 2 hours.
But will the speech be there?
I
Because we are
don't.
under
I think it
the
might
government
be a
shutdown.
recorded speech because it is happening at 5:20. So I don't think so. It is going to like.
Mm.
Mhm.
Someone is. I have another question regarding the end of day drawdown after a few days. I think this is your question, bro.
Um, I have another question. End of day drawdown. After a few days, I make a profit of 5K. If I lose 1K, once you cross the buffer, the profit is fixed and it will never go back. Uh, so I think that would answer your question. So if it is like 55,000, which you are already there, then your maximum drawdown is $5,000.
Someone is asking, Sai, how do you mentally recover after a big loss?
First step is like I don't revenge trade, and I don't have a concept of uh, big loss, to be honest, because I always take normal losses as per my risk appetite. But someone who takes a very big stop loss, or like let's say I lost a lot of accounts in that particular week because I copy trade a lot of accounts, then I accept the loss as a tuition paid to the markets. I journal what went wrong, I take a break, go to the gym, clear my mind out, and then come back. That's what I do.
Okay. Does FundingPips allow news trading? FundingPips, they have a trading news trading window. Is the window of 5 minutes before and after?
I think it depends on the account size. So if it is like what do you call um, uh, if it is like non-swing account or something, I think that is like 5 hours before which you have to take a trade, and for it to be valid, I think that's the only problem. I don't trade news, so I don't like really check that point.
How long have you been trading, and from when did you become profitable? Personally, I started trading in 2015, so that's some good years which have passed by. Being profitable, that started in 2019, 2020, after a big struggle. So I don't know about you, Sai. How long have you been trading?
I've been trading close to like 7 years now, and um, I've been not into forex markets, but mostly into like Indian trading, Indian options, and Indian uh, trades. So that's what I'll be mostly focusing on. But yeah, it's been a good journey, to be honest. Uh,
Yeah.
Sells look good on good or buys in Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq. Uh,
Okay.
Nasdaq market did open. I am currently opting for sells, but I don't like the range currently. I want it to like give one side momentum. If it is on the sell side, it will be good. That's what I feel, but let's see what it does. The range is very small for the open, so
For me, I took the other analysis we made on German 40, and my TP1 is almost being
you
hit.
wanna share your screen and show it?
As we wait, okay. So one, as I don't know, is my screen clear? Yeah. So the screen is there, guys. So as I
Yep.
told you guys, as we made this analysis, we are trapped between two strong resistance levels and support levels. So as soon as they closed above this level, then we executed our buys. Our take profit one is here. So always what I don't take profit one, I always take 50% of the what? 50% of the profits I have made. Then I put my stop loss into break even. So in most cases, I set my TP1 to areas, to areas I think that they're a bit strong. So that's it. I think we made this analysis together with you guys. So right now, German 40 usually doesn't move so well. It moves in a consolidation format. So right now, our main focus should be maybe on this. So let me try to mark out some trades on on Nasdaq. So of course the volume looks well. There is a possibility that this market, they might be targeting this point. That's on Nasdaq. Let me make this solid. Then we had a breakthrough from this point here. Okay. Now we shall mark this retest, the shadow. So that's the 4-hour mark up. I wouldn't want to mark this previous low I'll prefer marking this as long as I know what I'm playing within. So this is what I have. And maybe we are targeting this point here. This has also been marked on the 4-hour time frame. That's if we happen to see a retest. But we also had this strong move here, the bullish move. What I'll do, I'll mark this shadow here. I'll make this a bit dotted. Okay, so actually I can make it solid. Why make it dotted? So closing below this, I execute and I see the way the market is reacting. 9 minutes to close this candle. Closing above this, I'll be executing buys. It's the same concept I used here, no matter the consolidation what, it's the same consolidation, the same concept I'm going to be using here. So above this, we shall continue with our buys, and my TP1 will be here. I'll make it dotted so that I can't confuse it with these strong resistance levels. And also here, my TP1, I'll put it exactly in this area, because if you look at this area, I know those of you who trade on brokers, MT5, we had this as a gap, but for trading view, we are lucky. This is what I'll be having. So simply, this is what I have. That's the backup I have on this, targeting this down and targeting more up, even going more. That's if they happen to close above any of my zones. Yes, so that's simply what I have, guys. Let's wait and see what happens. Took a sell and caught 25 pips. Thank you, Saai. Yes. Someone is asking a question. Actually, many people always ask this. One email total, how many accounts will take in FundingPips? I think the allocation is based on individual. Even if you use different emails, I think FundingPips, I think they have the capacity to track you down. Is that allowed you to use multiple emails, Sai? Do you think it's allowed?
No, you can't. Actually, one email per KYC, and that is linked to Rise. So don't try to take it via like multiple emails. The max allocation differs for the country you trade from. So I can't comment for which country you're from and what you can take, because for most of them it will be 300k. So you can take any number of accounts up to 300k, like 25k split into multiple accounts, or like 50k multiple accounts, or 100k 3 accounts. It's up to you. But
Okay.
for some countries it is restricted to 50k, 100k, or 150k, or 200k. So just check your country and which restriction it is, and then like try to do it.
Okay. So we are almost making 2 hours. We wouldn't like to make this long. What do you think, Sai? Should we close it off?
Yeah, I think we can close it off, bro. Anyways, not much. I think we did get a very good sell on the Nasdaq, as I told, and
Yeah.
gold is just consolidating. It needs probably the Powell speech to basically drop. But
Okay.
apart
Because we
from
have
that,
a speech, we are in the government shutdown, so I think we can close it off, bro.
yeah, I think we'll close it off. Yeah, nothing much to do.
Okay, guys. Thank you for being part of us
Yep.
and being with us from the start. We really appreciate your time and you being here. And I also thank you, my bro, Sai, for
Thank
everything.
you, Fahad. Yep.
So don't be surprised when I'm in your inbox asking about features.
No, definitely. Yeah, I'll help you out. No worries.
Okay, bro. Okay, guys,
Yeah.
have a good day. Thank you for being part of us. Always show up. We are always here at the same time during the working days, Monday to Friday. We are always here. So show up and we shall enjoy everything. Have a good day, guys. We
Yeah.
appreciate
Have a good one,
you
guys.
being here.
It was a good stream. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
See you.